Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we won't be talking airplanes. Today we'll be fixing this oven. The reason I wanted to share this video is, one, I can save you money. Two, it's a simple repair that extends the life of an appliance. There's no need to buy a new one. This is otherwise perfect except for the one repair we're about to do. The mode switch quit working. So stick along. I'll show you how to do the repair, and you'll see that this too is plain simple. Hello everybody. Today we're looking at an Oster oven, toaster oven. This is for countertop toaster ovens. This is one of the big ones. One of the slightly bigger ones. And this is going to be quick. This is something that I ran into and I thought I would share. This is like you saw, an Oster toaster oven, Oster brand. But that's just a name. I most likely, all the inside components are all the same for any generic brand. Something that I like about this oven is that it's all mechanical. No printed circuit boards. It's no electronics, all mechanical click-clack knob types. Very robust, simple, and it should be easy to fix. In this case, the selector switch for the functions of positions of broil, bake, etc., etc. This knob, the switch itself, started having a bad contact, selecting the bottom resistance, the bottom heater, the heater element. You can see this oven has two heater elements. This is one continuous, it loops around and comes back around, so that's one heater element and one on the top. Pardon the dust, the dirt in there. This is a functioning kitchen. The way this works is you have power coming in. It goes to the timer, which is your bell, where you select the minutes. Your time here, that's your timer. It goes to the selector switch, which is here. I've already taken it out. And it goes from there to the temperature sensor, which is a bimetal little click type thermostat deal. Very simple. And from there, this selector knob over here, which is the switch that I have, selects, it turns on depending on what position you set it in. It turns on the fan, top resistor for broil, bottom resistor, or both, etc. In my case, this switch was not making contact. It's not selecting, it's not turning on the bottom resistor. And I went online and I looked up this model toaster oven from Oster. You can see the model number here. I had no luck finding any replacement parts for this oven. So I opened it up, I removed the switch, and the switch itself has a part number, which is, here it is. Right here. FZ31-9. Fox Zulu 31-9er. This switch, as far as I can tell, comes in two varieties, a 3-pin and a 5-pin. This is, for this oven, the 5-pin switch, 5 connectors. Now, if you look up replacement parts for that oven, that model number, nothing came up. But if you look up this part number on Google, you will find plenty of them, most of them coming from China, but they range from $10 to $15. You buy yourself a brand new switch, you can fix your oven. Nothing else. This is, you're looking at the brain, the muscle, the power behind the toaster oven, and it's all right here. Replace this, and you're back on the road. Now, coming from China, it's going to take a month. So in the meantime, I've already ordered the new switch, but in the meantime, I'm going to open this one, take a crack at it, cleaning up the contacts inside, and see if I can make this one work, at least until the new one comes up. So I'm going to go over to the garage and get some tools, get a little better light, and we'll give this a go, and we'll see what's inside. See if we can clean this up and make it work in the meantime. Alright, I'll see you guys back in the garage. Okay. Now, see these little tabs? Come in through here, get a small flat screwdriver. Pop this open here. Hopefully that will stay open. Pop this side open. Oh, hopefully it will stay out. There we go, starting to pry open. And it has the same tabs on the other side. Once you pop one side out and see what comes out of here. Okay, so now we get a glimpse of the guts of the switch. What you have is, here's your contacts, your wires, your spade connectors clicking on. On the back side, you have connectors, contacts. These contacts here get made connecting this pin to this pin to this pin. That connection is done by this little guy. Look at that. That was locked back there. I bet you this is the pin that wasn't working. So what triggers these? See, it just got jammed again. I bet you that's the pin that wasn't working, making the bottom resistor not work. Now, what pushes these up and down to make contact here? See a little contact from the spring-loaded little tab that connects this pin to this pin here. There's your contact, and a spring-loaded. Here's the pin inside of there. What pushes these cams open and shut is the selector knob in here, which this shaft is what you're turning with the selector knob. And these cams, as they come along, they push on these, either making or breaking these contacts. Therefore, you're kind of connecting your electricity from here to here, or from there to here, or in the case of the other side, from here to there. So this plastic cam inside, and it's kind of hard to see because it's all black, but these cams make or break the connections on these pins here. So it's a simple switch, fairly easy to get into, as you can see. So I'm going to clean up these contacts. Get a little bit of sandpaper or a knife or whatever, scrape away, clean up these contacts, figure out why this is getting stuck when it goes down, and we'll try putting them back in the oven, see if it works. Oh, and by the way, I have to say something cool. I have two special guests, two special helpers helping me today on the video. Cameraman, my son, say hi.
Hi.
And in the background over there, holding the table steady, is my daughter. Say hi, daughter. Hi. Okay. Alright, let me clean this up and we'll resume in a few minutes. Okay guys, now looking at this a little deeper, a little more in detail, something I wanted to point out. The switch, you see this ball here? That little ball has a spring behind it. That ball right now only has a little bit of grease holding it in place. Don't lose that ball, because that is what rides inside of the switch body. These little teeth inside of here, that's what gives you the detents. For whenever you're turning the knob, it gives you the click, 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 and it gives you the detent at different positions. That ball is what gives you that detent. So don't lose that ball. Let me pick it up out of there. If you have a magnetic plate or anything like that, and it gives you a place to put it in. Now you can see the spring behind it. Focus. That spring is what pushes the ball into those cams inside of there. These detents here. If you lose the ball, the switch will still work, but you lose the mechanical positive indication of the click of the detent to tell you what position you're in. Also, I noticed some discoloration. You see the plastic it looks a little melted on this side of the switch, and there's some discoloration here and on the contacts. It looks like the switch definitely got a little overheated, which would explain the discoloration and the deformation of this and why it got stuck. And there's something going on over here that's not right. So I'm definitely glad that I ordered the new switch. But in the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can get away with cleaning the contacts and at least keep the oven functional, at least until a replacement switch comes in. Alright, I'm back. I left off pulling out this contact. You can see how it's a little burnt over here. I guess the resistance of this contact over here got a little too high and it heated up and melted the plastic over here. Now to clean up the contact while the replacement switch makes its way over here, I got a pair of needle nose pliers, and this tab here for this contact used to be flat like this, and I grabbed it, I pulled it out just so that I could clean up that contact. So, got a little bit of Scotch-Brite. If you don't have Scotch-Brite, use sandpaper, use a knife, use something to scrape up the burnt material and get to some fresh bronze so you can clean up that contact. And I'm going to do the same thing for this contact over here. I'll lift it open, clean it up, and pull it back down. Now let me show you easy way to remove this contact. The way it sits over here, it has a little pin that sits in that little tab, that spring, which keeps positive pressure for this contact over here. You don't have to bend this contact over here, that tab, out of the way for this to get out. You can just push this down until its tip over here comes out of the hole. Once it comes out, it just drops out. And there you go. Don't lose that spring. Alright, let me clean these two up and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, contacts are clean. These two are clean. That one's cleaned up. This one I'm going to leave alone. I don't want to. That was not the one with the problem, so I'll leave it alone. I don't want to risk breaking the tab off, bending it. So I'm going to put this one back in place. Okay, maybe a little more. Alright, that's better. Now, for the fun part, putting it all back together. Yeah. Those are the springs that keep pressure for these contacts. Oop. I'm about to lose a spring over here. So, let's start with this one. Alright, so now you can see how it works. This is contact open, contact closed. That contact here bridges this tab with this tab. So that closes your contact. And what determines if you have a contact here or not is the cam that pushes over here. And that is from inside your selector knob. Those cams in there. Those are the ones that do the pushing and make or break that contact. If you're still watching by this far in the video, you got the point. You know how to lather, rinse, repeat. Clean up the contacts, make sure it's not it's springing back to making contact. Put the ball, don't forget that ball back in here. That's what gives you the detent. Remember the clack clack when you're turning this knob. Yeah, you should have a working switch until the new one comes in. Replace it, put a new one on. I'm gonna keep playing with this till I'll put it all back together. See you guys in a bit. Okay. Both contacts are back on. Time for the ball. Just put the ball on and going back in. Yep, there goes the ball. And just like that, look at that. Pausing the video makes it look easy, doesn't it? Yeah. And a snap, it snapped right back in. Of course, I had to steal a little bit of grease from inside to make the ball stick back to its spring because I was struggling with it. And in the process of me turning the knob, the ball from the other side dropped out. So now I get to open the other side. So, but you can hear so far with only one ball, you can hear you get a positive detent. So I believe this switch would be usable as it is. But given that it's already at the bench, I'll make an attempt at putting the other ball back in. Here, the other side is open, and of course, that's where the ball goes. No ball. Check the contact. Spring is good. Snaps back. So let me do what I did on the other side and steal some of the little grease from here. Just a little bit of grease to put on the spring to help keep the ball in place while I put it back in there. Alright, much more positive detents now. I think I'm going to need the knob to be able to turn this. Alright, let's go back and put this together. See if it works. Alright, we're back in the kitchen. Now it's time to put the switch, newly refurbished switch, only for temporary use. And we'll put it back in place, connect all the stuff to it, and try it out. Now, it only gets surface mounted to the face of the oven with two little screws. From the back, put the switch in from this side, put the screws in from that side, slide the knob in place, about your uncle. Now I don't remember exactly what orientation this is, so let me go back and look at a video that I took of all this, just so that as a reference so I could put it back together again. I'll be back. Alright, the switch is back in. There you go. It is connected Here's your two little screws that hold it in place. Now the knob, you see the flat face on the shaft. Knob is keyed in, so it only goes in one position. Very good. Now, something that two things. If you're going to take any of this apart, please either make notes, make a drawing, take pictures, videos, whatever, of the positions of the wires, so you can put them back in the same position. If you don't, then you won't know. It makes it a little more difficult to figure out who goes where. But in case you're working on this exact, this switch is used in a lot of ovens. So it's not specific to this oven. It could be that this setup could be used in many other ovens. So this wiring is specific for here. But in case you are working on the same model, I will follow the wiring, so in case you didn't take a picture, you can put it back together. Starting from the power cord coming from the wall, you have both red and blue. This blue comes along over here and comes to the fan, and then it comes up to the temperature selector, the thermostat, temperature control. So this is it right here. From there you have the blue that continues on, and it powers one side of the top heater element, and from there it goes to this side of the bottom heating element. Then from the other leg of the heater element, we have that white wire going to your selector switch, a mode selector. It's hard to see, but on the bottom, this side of the switch has 3 tabs. This one has 2. On this side over here, there's 1 tab visible on the top over here. So on the bottom, the white one is going to the one closest to the face of the oven. Not this one, but the one in the back. So the white from there goes to the tab covered in orange back there. This other blue one here in front of the white goes to the other end of the lower resistive element, heater element. That one there. That one goes to the second bottom tab on your selector knob. Now, on the other side of the switch we have this black. Here on the top, this side of the switch only has the 2 tabs. Top one has this black, which goes to the other side of the fan. And this red, which is the last remaining tab of the switch, this red is this red that comes from the wall to the timer. And from the timer it goes to there, right here to the bottom tab on this side of the switch, and then it jumps from there to the top tab over here. So that is just that red is just a jumper from one side of the switch to the other. This here is just to power the indicator, powers on indicator light, and that's robbing power from here. You can see it tapped off from the temperature control. It goes to there, goes to the light, and back to this tab. Alright, now let's plug it in and see if it'll work. Ooh, before I plug it in, let me show you something. These little spade connectors, they have a locking tab. They have a locking feature. You can sit here and pull on them all day and they won't come out. Let's see. Yeah. Hopefully you can see this here. That little tab there. You have to push that down. And that will unlock the tab. There's the little tab. That little tab locks into a little hole. You'll hear it click. If you don't push that tab down, that spade connector will not come out. It's plugged in back there. Before I put the case back on, please be careful, don't go poking in there. This is live now. Let me, in the selector knob, make sure you select whatever mode, in this case bake. Whatever mode is going to work, both the top and the bottom heater elements. Bottom one is the one that was not working. So we'll wait a minute or two and see if it glows red. While we're waiting for this to cook up, to heat up, let me show you something cool. This is the selector, the temperature control. Let me turn this light off. See, hang on. We're going to be looking at this thing right here. The contact, when I lower the temperature on that selector knob, you'll see it, when it breaks the contact, you'll see it spark. And now back on. Alright. You see how much bigger that spark is when it breaks the contact? Yeah, interesting, huh? Alright, I turned off the light in the kitchen just to see if I could see the heating element glowing red. And indeed, it is. Here's the bottom. It works. There we go. Success. I guess I'll put the case back on and we're done. All right. And now that it works, I'm going to put the cover back on and call it good. Just so you know, this cover slides in from the back and all around. 3 sides, one side and top and this side. And it slides in this little lip. Slides in behind the face of the oven. And then there's screws on the back side, all along the back and along the bottom. The legs, 4 little legs, they also have screws inside. 2 little alignment, little tabs. Put it in where it belongs, screw the screw in, and then it takes this little cap to cover the hole. So if you're taking this off, take this little rubber cap off, and that will expose the screw in the center of the little leg. Take the screw off, pull the cap, the leg, and then pull the rest of the screws all along the bottom, the sides, the top, and same thing on the other side. And then you would pry this open and slide it aft. Slide this whole case aft and up and out. That's it. I hope this helps. I know it's not airplane related like the main topic of this channel, but if this can help anybody, why not put it up? At least this earned me the right to have breakfast tomorrow. Alright. You guys stay safe. See you next time.